Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maryam and today's video is going to be juicy. I never thought in a million years that I'd post something like this, but I don't know why this idea came into my head and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Like, dating advice in Waterloo. What is it like? Anyways, I think that this video is important because these are things that I would tell my little sister, and this video is for the girls and the girls only, so if you're a guy, get out. I'm joking, but I think this could be for both. I think it's a very important video in terms of talking to my girlfriends and talking to people from different schools and hearing their experiences and what it's like there, and like, is there a stereotype with Waterloo men, and specifically like men in engineering and computer science. So I think I should give a little bit of backstory on my situation. I am currently single, so maybe these advice are just not applicable or helpful because we didn't come out of university cuffed. Anyways, that's okay. But I did have two pretty serious relationships or like talking stages because I am Muslim, so I don't really do like the whole boyfriend girlfriend thing. I do more of like the courting, getting to know someone in a very like serious manner, and then yeah, talking about marriage is usually talked about within the first like 2-3 months, which is kind of crazy when I think about it and talk to like my non-Muslim friends, but that's how we do it as Muslim girls. But I am Persian Muslim, and the two guys that I had serious talking stages with lasted only like 3-4 months, and it was pretty serious. Like, one of them, his parents knew, and then the other one, like, both of her parents knew. They were both Muslim men, they were both in engineering, and I guess I will say the culture, because I do think that makes an impact in the relationship. One was Persian and the other one was Egyptian. So I had two pretty serious talking stages, but also both of them were like long distance. So I only talked to men when I was on co-op terms, because on school terms I was so down bad and so down horrendous on like and stressed about school that I just did not have time to like talk to men. So both of these relationships were when I was on co-op, and most of them were back in Toronto when I was in California, so it was like long distance. It was more of like texting, getting to know each other. But here are some patterns that I've noticed, and I did ask some of my girlfriends for their feedback or like some red flags that they've seen, especially some of like my non-Muslim friends, so that we can get this different perspectives. And I also want to say that this is my experience and my friend's experience. Not every man is like this. Some of my girlfriends did come out with like really solid relationships, but I do want to say that the ones that did come out with really solid relationships met their person in like the first like 2 years of university. I don't know if like that makes an impact statistically or anything like that, but like I don't know. That's what I've noticed. But yeah, I also do want to mention that I was never on Hinge in Waterloo, so I don't know like the online dating situation in Waterloo. I was on it in California and that was not good. So I'm not a huge fan of online dating apps. Like, I maximum go on the apps for like 2-3 weeks and then I get the ick and then I leave and don't come back for like a while. So yeah, this video is also not to show off and talk about my past relationships. This is like the last thing I want to talk about, but I do want to give these advice because I think it's so important as young girls to know these things and to think about these red flags that I didn't really see until the relationship ended and I talked to my girlfriends. All right, number one, there's nothing more unattractive than a man that makes their job their whole personality. I can't stress this enough. Like, I don't know why a lot of guys, especially Waterloo men, have this idea that their job needs to be their whole personality. I do kind of understand if you have a startup because like that's your baby, like that's your child, like you're creating this. But if you don't have a startup and you're working at like a big tech company, why are you putting in so much energy into this job and making it your whole personality? Obviously, I don't want like a guy that's a bum, and I do want someone that's hardworking, but there is like a limit to how much you should put into a company, especially if you're not getting overtime. Like, why are you doing this extra work? Like, are you inefficient? Like, I'm joking, but I really think that this was something that I noticed a lot with my girlfriends. It's like, guys at Waterloo make their job and their co-ops their whole personality, and it really gives me the ick. Number 2 is, this maybe goes with like more masculine guys, but like some guys that I've seen, they're not okay with their girl making more money than them. And I think especially like as a girl in CS, when a guy tells me that they're not okay with their woman making more money than them, I just immediately get turned off, because like, what do you mean you're intimidated by women's success? Like, I don't know. I think it kind of dims the light in the girl, and it kind of takes away from their hard work and their intelligence when they say that. So I run away from those types of guys. Number 3 is maybe also like a more Muslim guy thing, but it's them being controlling and using religion to control you. I despise that. I think that religion's very independent. It's your relationship with your creator. So it's really, I don't know, disrespectful when I hear a guy telling you what you can and can't do. Obviously, I think it's really important for Muslim girls to dress modestly, but there is a limit to how much you have a say into what they wear, especially if their dad is okay with what they wear. So I don't know, that's a personal opinion of mine. Take the advice if you want to. But number 4 is really important. I personally think, like, if my sister went on a first date and they didn't treat them right, they didn't pay for the first date, I would say leave, because the first date sets the tone for the whole relationship. And if they didn't put an effort in planning it, or at least paying, like, what are you doing? But that's a personal opinion again. Number 5 is a Waterloo thing. Smelling bad is unattractive, very, very unattractive. So please use some type of cologne, use some type of deodorant, shower every day, like, please, for the love of God, please. The next one is having weird friends. Guys that have weird friends, I don't know, I think that it's really important to meet the friend group, because it does play a huge impact on how the guy treats you, or how the guy is, what type of beliefs he has. So I don't know, I think it's really important to meet the guy friends before you get into like anything very serious. The next one is just like a common one, like someone that's not respectful or trustworthy. Like if there's like white lies going on in the relationship, or they're hiding their phone, or like, I don't want to say like you have to go through their phone, but like every time they're texting, they're like hiding it away from you, like why? The next one is also another obvious one, cheating. Like, I don't know, I personally think that if a guy has cheated in the past and he tells you, he's like, yeah, I cheated on my ex, he still hasn't like processed it, because like, why are you telling me that? Like, I am going to leave immediately when you tell me you cheated in the past. I do think that your sins are forgivable, but I also think it's hidden for a reason. Like, God hid your sins for a reason, so why are you telling the next person that you cheated on your last? I don't know, that's very, very unattractive to me, and personally a red flag if they tell me they cheated in a past relationship. Next one is not being consistent. I've met so many girlfriends that have told me this, where in the beginning the guy was so into it. The first 3 months he was texting every day, every second, and then once things started getting serious, or once they started talking about the future, he kind of just dipped. He's like, okay, you're locked in with me, I'm not putting in any effort. Girl, leave. Like, if they're not putting in effort after 3 months, how are they gonna put in effort when you guys have kids and like there's responsibilities? I don't know, personal opinion again, but I get the ick. Oh my gosh, the next one is a huge thing, especially for Waterloo. Since we have the co-op program and since we're constantly moving, it's so hard to have relationships, honestly, because we don't have stability in our lives. We don't know where we're going to be in the next 4 months when we do co-op. So long distance is a huge thing in a lot of Waterloo relationships, and that can make you or break you. Personally, the friends who've made it through the long distance have such strong relationships, and honestly sometimes it breaks them too, because like it's constantly long distance after long distance, and like sometimes you don't see an end in the long distance, especially like if your full-time offers are in 2 different places. Next is like another obvious one, is like there are like the guy and the girl's future plans or future ideologies on how they want to live is not the same. That also puts a lot of strains, and I've seen that a lot in like my girlfriends. Next is guys who can't communicate and avoidance. Oh my god, this is my biggest ick. Like, why can't you tell me I did something wrong? Like, why do I have to guess? And especially me as an anxious person, I need to know what I did wrong in a relationship, and I can't just be like left on red or like ignored when they're upset with me. Yeah, I think that's a really big red flag, and it's honestly something that just shows that they are not ready for a relationship, honestly. Next one is also really important, like someone who doesn't practice your love languages, especially if you've told them what they are. I think that's such an important thing in a relationship. It's like, it's mutual respect. Whatever you put in is what you get back, right? It should be that way. And if someone doesn't practice your love languages, like, come on, man, like, I told you what they are. And especially if you've told them that something bothers you and they keep doing it, I just think that's disrespectful. Like, it's just like, you don't listen to me, you don't care about me, you keep doing it. So I don't know, that's a big one. Very, very big one. Another big one is someone who doesn't know how to like calm you down when you're very anxious or when you're on edge. I think this is like such an important skill to learn in a relationship, is like knowing what triggers someone, your partner's like triggers, and also knowing like how to calm them down when they're super anxious or sad, or you know, like when they're going through stuff. And like obviously it goes both ways, you have to put in what you want to get back, but I think it's really important to communicate when you're feeling down so that your person can help you. Next is another one, and this is honestly like my biggest lesson, is to take things really slow, especially the first 4 months. You don't need to be talking about your future kids in the next 4 months. Like, that is something that can wait, and that can wait until the parents have met. I don't know. I think for me, it's like a sign of love bombing when they talk about future kids and how many kids they want. Like, yeah, that's important, but why are you saying all this when our parents haven't even met? I don't know. For me, it's a form of love bombing. Next one is a tip that my therapist has told me, is that relationships can only work when there is some form of compromise from both sides of parties. And she gave me a very good analogy of like, imagine there's a flower pot, and in that flower pot there's two seeds, you and your partner. And of course the roots are going to clash as this flower is growing, but you need some form of trust and communication to build this flower. And when it builds, you build something so beautiful together, whether that's like a family or like a healthy relationship. Like, you're building a really good plant together. I don't know, I really like that analogy, and I think that's so important. If a guy's not going to compromise a little bit for the things that you need, then come on, man. And next one is, your standards are never too high. If there's a reason why you want something, it's probably because you deserve that. I think that anything that's like in my mind of like my dream person is because God put those thoughts in my head. And I think that there's a person for me out there. I do think that obviously a guy's not going to meet 100% of what I want, but I do think the important qualities are going to be there in a person, especially if I communicate with them that these are things that I'm really looking for. So yeah, another advice. Next one is another obvious one, but I guess not with Waterloo men, is like, if you lose feelings, just end it. Like, there's no point in dragging it on. Like, that's like just gonna hurt the person even more. So I don't know, for me it's like, if you lose feelings, just end it. Like, why are you still here? I don't know. And the last advice is something that I kind of mentioned all throughout the videos, like, whatever you put into the relationship is what you should receive back. I think it's so important to have that mutual effort, that mutual respect, that mutual energy into a relationship, because if one person's putting in all the work, it's not gonna work. But yeah, I hope that this video helped. I don't know if I'll post it, but I guess if you're seeing it, I did post it. Obviously, this is not to show off in any way. And also take the advice as you will. Like, don't take everything that I just said if it doesn't apply to you, because obviously I am a Muslim woman and I have like other, I guess, qualities I'm looking for, and my type is different than yours, but these are kind of things that I thought of like that applies to like kind of a general group of people, especially like my girlfriend group. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any other red flags that you've seen in guys. I'd love to have a conversation about this, and I don't know, I think it's important to talk about it because everyone's like, what's Waterloo dating like? Is everyone a nerd? But I met pretty cool people, and no hate on my past relationships. I think they were great. Like, I think there's a reason why we ended, and now I know more of like what I want. But yeah, until next video, peace.